Dr. Iwanik here. Today we are going to be making banana muffins. And just so you know, before we start cooking, I have already washed my hands, I have my hair up, and I have my apron on. What we need for this is first off our recipe, so you want to make sure you have that in front of you when you're cooking. And then I have pre-measured everything just to kind of help me out a little bit. So going in order, we have a 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda. So if the recipe calls for either just one of those, make sure you pull the right one. A 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3 bananas, and we're going to end up mashing them, 3/4 cup of white sugar, 1 egg, and then 1/3 cup of butter, which we're going to melt in the microwave. So what we're going to do is, it says that we are going to coat our muffin pan. So I have one right here. It's a silicone one, so what I usually like to do is put it on a tray so that when I pull it out of the oven, it doesn't accidentally spill. So you're just going to get some Pam. If you don't have that and you have cupcake paper, you can use that instead. I just find it easier just to spray it. But for cupcakes, I definitely use the paper. Muffins, you don't really need it. All right, so we have sprayed that. We're going to put that aside, and then we're going to get our medium mixing bowl, okay, which is this one. And it says that we are going to combine the flour. So here's the 1.5 cup of flour, the baking powder, okay, this is this one, baking soda, okay, let's make sure we get it all out, and the salt, okay, and I'm just going to do a quick little mix real fast, okay, and then it says to set it aside, okay, so we'll just kind of put that over here, and we'll use that later. Then we're going to get a large mixing bowl, which would be this one, okay, and we are going to get our bananas and mash them. Now, with this recipe, you want to make sure that these are not fresh bananas. They're bananas that are on their way out, okay, because those are the good mushy ones. See, you don't want fresh ones. So there's one. Sometimes I only put in 2, but you want to make sure that you're following the recipe. Okay. But again, if you're doing this at home, you can add other things. If you'd rather that, do 2 bananas. You can do 4 bananas if you'd rather. Okay, so peel these. Okay. Right, and then we're going to mash them using the pastry blender. The pastry blender is this. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of chomp down and twist, right? And make sure that the bananas are all mushed. Now, here's part of the problem. It's going to get stuck. So you're going to either get your hands dirty or make sure that you have a knife or a fork or something to get it out. Okay, so then it takes a little bit of time to do this. Okay. And then if you're doing it with somebody at home, you can always switch off. You can mix. Okay. If you don't have a pastry blender, you can always use forks. Use a fork. This is really nice to have in the kitchen when you're doing pastries and baking. Okay, so I've got that all mashed nice and good. Okay, so again, my hands are clean. I wash them, so I'm just gonna use my fingers. And that's kind of what happens when you're cooking. You get dirty. That's why we wear aprons. Okay, so they are really mashed. Okay. Then what it says is to fold in your mixture of flour. Oh, well, then it says then fold in the sugar, eggs, and melted butter. So fold in means to take a rubber scraper and mix it until it's smooth. So you're just kind of folding it over, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the sugar. So I will do that first. So here's the sugar, all right? And then I'll show you how to fold it in. So you can get any sort of rubber spatula. And you're basically just taking it and making sure the bottoms of the bananas get to the top. Okay? There's a really funny episode in Schitt's Creek, if you watch that, that talks about folding. If I can find the video, I'm going to post it for you guys. It's me up every time. Okay, and then you do the same thing with the egg. The egg, you want to remember you don't want to hit it on top of the bowl because you could get it in there. So I will just use something that is empty. Okay, crack it. I'm going to put it on top of my peels here. Okay, and then I made sure there's no shell, which is what we want. Okay, and then you can fold it in. Again, you're just taking it. You want to break the yolk. Okay, fold it in, mix it. Okay, and you're going to do the butter. The butter needs to be microwaved, and the directions say to do it for 10-second increments. Put a paper towel over it. You want to make sure it doesn't explode. It gets all over your microwave. You know, you could, if you leave it on for too long, it just gets everywhere. So I'll put it on for 30 seconds. And what I do is that I'll then stop it every 10 and take a look. So this is basically 1/3 cup is, if you look at the lines on butter, it's 5 1/3, so it's a bigger piece of butter. Okay, and I of course let it go way too long, but I got lucky. No explosion. See, I still have some solid butter, so let me see. I'm gonna use not this. Yeah, it's still really hard. You don't want it too hard, or you're gonna have a hard time folding it. You might get chunks of butter, which you don't want. So then you just pop it in again, take a look, make sure that it doesn't explode. Make sure you have your paper towel over it. Okay. All right, now we're good. All right. Be careful too, because the bowl could be hot. You are pulling it out of the microwave. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to add this. Okay. Add the butter. Again, you can fold. And then what you're going to do next is then fold again your flour mixture with the baking powder, baking soda, and the salt. So, again, folding is meaning to combine ingredients together without stirring, beating, okay? It's a fold. Okay, you just want to keep doing this over. Okay, don't dump all of this in too. Do a little bit at a time. Okay, so I like to do about half, and then fold it. And it should start to get thicker. You'll see the flour really makes it. Again, you go from the bottom over to the top. Okay. You're starting to see this. Okay, and I'm going to add the rest. And fold. Okay. I like to go around the edges and then flip it. So that way I'm getting everything off the edge. Okay. Okay, and you want to make sure that you really blend it. There we go, there we go. This is looking good. Okay, and here I'm going to show you. It's not all mixed yet, but you can see it's getting really thick. It's not the, you know, as watery or runny consistency. Okay, so again, you want to mix and you want to fold. Just make sure that all of the flour is covered. I think I'm almost done. I'm going to get the sides. Okay. Now I am going to do something that I usually do, but this is not part of the recipe. But again, if you're making it at home, you can add whatever you want. If you want to add some blueberries, I am going to add a cup of chocolate chips because I have 5-year-olds and everything has to have, you know, can't have just healthy. They got to have a little bit of sugar in it. And then I'll just do it again. I'll fold it in, okay? These are really good to eat in the morning, like on the run. They're really easy. And okay, so I have it all mixed. And then what you're gonna do is spoon the batter into this. Now I have little scoopers, okay? So if you don't have it, you would just use a spoon. You wanna make sure that they're even, okay? And remove all of this so you guys can see. Okay. Again, you're gonna have a lot of cleanup, so make sure that you're cleaning it up and you're not leaving it for your parents. So what I do is I just take a scoop and then I can just dump it out, okay? And then that's pretty much an even amount. If I have to, I'll take some out, but this is a really nice way and it's much easier and clean. But again, not everybody has these in their kitchen. So I'm gonna show you then that it makes like the perfect amount, okay? And it should make 12. That's what the recipe yield is. Yield means how many does it make, okay? And then you are gonna pop it in the oven, which you should have preheated. This lab normally is 2 days, but because we're not in person, you can obviously do it at home in 1 day, which is what I usually do. And then you cook it for 25 to 30 minutes at 350. You know what? I might have put too much scoop in because I might be shy. So what I can do is I can take it out. Might need to do that. That's okay. Okay. So what I can do is just get a spoon. I'm gonna get a clean spoon. Okay. And just scoop some of it out of each one just so I can fill all of them. Okay. So if any of these have too much, maybe I should have used a smaller scoop. You can get them in all different sizes, which is really nice. And almost there. I feel like that one's got not enough. Perfect. All right, so then you have your 12 muffins that you can put in the oven and then you get to eat. So that is how you make banana muffins with an added special of chocolate chips. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks.